Australia, the wide brown land. For close to 2 centuries, our economy rode on the sheep's back. But things have changed. Today, over 3 million Australians live below the poverty line. And for those still trying to make a living in the country, the struggle's never been so real. In this series, we'll meet those who depend on the land.
Water is the lifeblood of our farm.
Battling a drought that could become the worst in 400 years.
The last 2 years have been the most difficult.
A very frightening time because you just don't know when droughts are going to end.
And it's not just the farmers. Some regional towns are doing it tough too.
I worry about my children's safety every day, every single day.
We're going to get rocks thrown at us. There we go.
Feeling abandoned.
My house is trashed, mate.
I've got knives, I've got bloody iron bars and everything in my place.
Some country Australians have had enough.
The ball went in the fucking window after it hit the mirror. Who the fuck are you, mate? Fuck off.
Cars have been stolen and they dump them on our oval and they burn them.
Like there was flames.
With emergency services stretched.
It's the worst suburb that I've ever lived in.
Limited access to health services.
He's had seizures, bone disease, got kidney disease.
And some struggling to even put a roof over their head.
There's plenty of people breaking the laws. Why are they picking on me for?
Are rural Australians fed up?
I don't think city people really understand what we're going through at all.
And ready to leave?
I don't think there's a future here.
Country's gone mad.
As Australians, we've long regarded a life in the country as a healthy one. But healthcare in the bush is in crisis. There's a third less medical professionals working in regional areas per head of population than in our cities. And chances are, if you live in the country, you'll experience higher rates of disease and injury and have a shorter life expectancy. "60 clicks from Wagga, far from hospitals and specialists. In the town of Nangus lives Peter, her partner Ricky, and their twins Bree and Cody.
What'd you get?
That's pretty cool.
Today, the twins are celebrating their 5th birthday.
Yeah, you good. Piggy, piggy.
You got piggies.
For Cody, every birthday is extra special.
What's that?
He has Dent's disease, a chronic kidney disorder which is affecting his physical and social development.
It's been a long 5 years. Cody obviously has been through a fair bit.
He also has a rare gene that means a common cold or cut could turn deadly.
Because of the diagnosis that Cody has is quite rare. Like, there's supposedly 250 patients worldwide that have that particular problem that he's got. So I find that even though I have a whole range of medical plans and backups and everything there, when I walk into a GP, you know, whether it be, you know, he's got a cold or something, they will not treat him. They just kind of throw their hands in there and go, we're not touching him, just take him to the hospital. Happy birthday to you.
Cody's condition requires constant specialist visits, often as far away as Sydney or Melbourne. And the never-ending medical bills means money is tight. Today, the twins' dad Ricky is out of town. He has to take on extra work just to make ends meet.
He's back in Canberra, so he won't be back until later this weekend. So he rang the kids this morning, video called them, him and his mates, and they all sung happy birthday to the twins.
In a couple of weeks, the twins will start school.
Starting big school?
I can like school, big school.
At Nangus.
And Nangus.
I'm excited for Bree because I think it's what she obviously needs. And Cody, I think, is going to be good for him too because he's going to learn a lot more independence as well.
But juggling 2 to 3 specialist appointments every month and keeping up with lessons will have its challenges.
We're integrating him 2.5 hours a day. We're just going to basically suit school around his health needs and just see how he copes. The end plan is to hopefully have him in school full-time by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that it just goes forward and it just increases and he comes good.
The stress of caring for a sick child is all-consuming for both Peter and Ricky.
It's a real battle having sick children living in the bush. And then you're buying their medicine, it's a battle, it's just a battle.
Having a sick kid is one thing.
No one likes to go away again, but you've got to go away to make the money to survive out here in the bush.
But when you're working away from your family just to pay the medical bills, it's hard not to feel frustrated.
I've got to answer to the questions to the boys at work. How's Cody going? Like, they thought he was going to die. I said to him, mate, any week he could just get infection and die. Like, it's just a ticking nightmare for me and Peter. Put yourself in my position and put yourself in Peter's position, because she's tired and we're at each other's throats. We're absolutely exhausted. Absolutely exhausted, the pair of us.
Southwest of Wagga is The Rock. It's home to Rodney, who spent most of his adult life battling alcohol dependency, as well as mental health issues.
Everyone knows me here. They know I'm an alcoholic. I walk up the street drinking at this time of the morning normally.
For the past 5 years, he's been shacked up in a caravan on a mate's place near town.
Yeah, just like that, man. All right, thank you. I'll see you in the morning.
And since falling out with his family, he's had no one but his dog Penny by his side.
Come on, girl. Got your breakfast now. Not a bad avenue, hey? They do a pretty good job. Well, I wish I could get a job on Lockhart Shade, but because I got schizophrenia, they won't give me a job. But I could mow lawns and use a chainsaw. But yeah, no, the old schizophrenia buggered that up. This is the park. I'm gonna have a shave and a wash, charge my phone.
Living without water or power has meant Rodney's had to find some unconventional alternatives.
This is free power. If it's turned on, it should be. I should donate Lockhart Shire some money because I've been using it for a while, but anyway, she's charging.
This morning, Rodney is in town for a doctor's appointment.
This is a little bit difficult. Got to hold that down. It only lasts 5 or 10 seconds. And then have a quick shave. This is the bush way to do it. But you've got to have a fresh razor. You can't use a half blunt one.
His GP wants to discuss the results of a recent lung biopsy.
Can't go looking like a complete hillbilly. And that's it. Ugh. Penny, where'd you go?
At age 45, Rodney's health is deteriorating.
Nearly out of tobacco.
Hospital scans have shown he has emphysema.
I went and seen a lung specialist a week ago, and they put my lungs on the scan, on the computer, and it just looked like a starry sky with a couple of black holes in it. And that's emphysema, and it wasn't very pretty.
But more worrying are nodules on his lungs, which might be cancerous.
Come on, girl. I've been coughing up blood on and off for the last 2 years, maybe a bit longer. Hopefully it's not lung cancer, not the big C, so I think I'd be dead by now if I had the cancer. Oh well, all good.
Thankfully, it's not cancer, but he's been given a stern warning from his doctor about his lifestyle.
Give up drinking and give up smoking, basically. Just get more infections and the nodules will get worse and the emphysema will get worse, which I probably already knew. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop smoking them fucking smokes. If I get over that morning smoke, I'll be right.
In the middle of the Riverina is the small town of Matong. Population 164. Living in the shadows of the canola silos is Mary Ann, a 48-year-old single mum of 7.
This is Matong, and sometimes if you blink, you miss it. I have relatives that have come and missed the house altogether because there was dark, and so they couldn't use that as a reference point.
She moved to Matong 18 years ago, when skyrocketing rents in Sydney meant she could no longer afford to raise her family there.
It is a lovely, quaint community. If you want to raise a family, this is the kind of place you want to be able to do it. Where no matter where in town the kids are, you can call round up, they come back. If they muck up, someone will say, wait till I tell your mother. She already knows, she can hear you. And it's safe.
But Mary Ann lives with a physical disability, so her tree change has not been without its challenges.
When I was 10, I had an allergic reaction to some medicine, and it caused me to have a stroke that left me paralysed down the left side.
Mary Ann suffered 2 more strokes after the births of 2 of her kids.
And by then I couldn't use my hands at all. Everything I do one-handed, so I wash the dishes one-handed, I drive one-handed, I have to fold the washing with my teeth. It's very frustrating sometimes because I don't have help all that often.
Mary Ann's main support are her kids still living at home.
Yes.
16-year-old daughter Sam and 14-year-old twins Mandy and Chantal.
They don't mind helping, they don't mind chipping in, they don't mind grabbing a broom and sweeping.
I don't really like the colour pink. I reckon it's too girly. And also I'm, in a way, redecorating my room. So I'm pretty much going to have a French-based room.
I don't raise wusses, I raise future leaders. I teach them to be strong, independent, because for me that's a big, big issue.
I'm just going to wash this off.
Washing, folding now.
Mary Ann used to receive 3 hours a week of government-subsidised home care when the kids were little. But a recent scaling back of disability services in regional New South Wales means she's left with none.
And then they said the NDIS was being introduced, which I applied for, and that's when I was knocked back not once but twice. And so it's been a bigger struggle ever since then to try and stay on top of things.
Once it's fully rolled out, the federal government's National Disability Insurance Scheme aims to provide funded support for around 460,000 Australians living with a disability.
And I wasn't disabled enough to qualify. To me, that's just ridiculous. I was heartbroken. I felt for not only myself, but for a lot of other people with strokes.
Mary Ann applied to the NDIS in the hope she could make modifications to her home, making it easier to get around.
I walk with a limp. I trip a lot. Where I'm standing now has foundations, and where I'm not doesn't. It means that I trip more often. Like when I'm coming down that step, I can be good, and I can trip, and I can trip for quite a fair distance, and to avoid damaging myself, I'll put my good shoulder into the wall and nip with a foot through the wall. Okay, coming through to my bedroom. So as you can see, these look like obstacles, but they're actually safety measures. I use this end of this to go and walk in towards the bathroom. I lean against this heavily so I don't damage any more of myself that I have. This is my ensuite. And as you can see, the actual shower, the ensuite shower that's here is completely useless to me. My left leg doesn't work properly. It has foot drag, and so if I lift my leg, it might only go to half point before I fall out the rest. I value my teeth. Again, these are one of the things that I was promised so many years ago, and I could be independent insofar as showering by myself without the humiliation of my daughter helping me in and helping me out. It's depressing, in all honesty. It's something that gets to the heart of me, and there's no support. None whatsoever. At least I've got the kids to help carry the load.
Out in Nangus, northeast of Wagga, 5-year-old twins Bree and Cody are getting ready for their first day of school.
Oh, you got it! You did it!
I got to get my shoes on.
And you got to do your hair.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
For any parent, it's a big day. But for Peter, who's had to deal with isolation as well as nursing a chronically sick child, it's a major milestone.
It's been a massive effort getting Cody ready for school, particularly more the last 12 months. Every day, doctors, OT, physio, speech, to try and get him up to a level where he can start school. We didn't know that he'd even be able to go to a normal school, whether he'd be able to go to school at one stage. For him to be starting school is huge.
Excited?
Where are you going?
Bree can't wait to get out the door.
Where are you going?
School.
I'm excited for both of them, but I'm really excited for Bree as well because I think now she'll get her own identity, she'll get her own friends.
She tends to miss out a lot attention-wise because everything is revolved around Cody. And yeah, it makes it really, really hard. Yeah, very hard.
I think Bree's going to thrive at school.
Mummy!
Yeah, you're going to school today.
Mummy!
Yeah, big school with Bree. You're going to go play on the swings with the kids? Yeah.
But Cody is less sure about it all.
Buddy, quick, hop out of the fridge. No, you've got to go to school today, buddy.
Mummy!
Yeah, big school, remember?
Mummy!
Like we went before.
I want...
Yeah, we go to big school today.
No.
Cody's probably about 2.5 years behind kids his own age. Where are you going today?
Toy.
Toys?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go play with the toys at school?
No.
What are you going to do?
Apple.
What are you going to do?
Spider-Man.
You're going to write your name?
No.
What are you going to do?
Fly.
You know, he's got a lot of strengths as well, but he's quite delayed for a kid of his age. But I think the social aspect's going to help him, and I think his language may even improve, being around his peers. Oh, now look who looks like a big boy. Show me. Let me have a look. Cody, come and show me.
Missing yet another important day in the twins' lives is their dad, Ricky. He's had to take on another contract job out of town.
Take a photo.
We go outside and take a photo? Come on. Hop off the tractor and we'll go take a photo.
Photos which will be bittersweet for their dad.
Do a proper one. Get your tongue in your head, Bree.
Mama.
You're a bugger.
I did it.
The journey starts now. They're starting school, so it's kind of where you lose, you know, the babiness in them and having to do everything for them. They learn a lot of independence, so That's kind of a sad thing too, really. They become independent little people. Stand there and one big more smile. Go. One more. Ready, set. Put your hand down, Brie.
A few days since he was told by his doctor to quit the booze and smokes, Rodney is alone again in his paddock on the outskirts of the Rock.
If I haven't got a gardening job or a job to do, I just sit here, stare at the fucking trees and feed the animals and just fucking think, you know, just that's it.
Nearly 1 in 4 people living in outer regional and remote areas exceed alcohol consumption guidelines.
I can handle the first mouthful.
That's 40% more than those in capital cities.
Because I've been doing this, I suppose I've forgotten about the fucking normal things of life. Having a shower, brushing your teeth in the morning, and combing your hair and shit like that. You know, I don't do that. But it's about time I got off this shit and started doing normal things.
Despite his doctor's warning, his ongoing mental health issues and the pain he feels being stuck out here on his own, he's succumbed to the booze once again.
I know I'm a better person than an alcoholic. I know I'm better than that. I've done it before. I can do it again. It's just, I've got to work it out in my own heart and my own brain to get off the shit. I'd rather be sitting around my family having a normal beer. I don't get that. My family have nothing to do with me, you know. Ah, well.
Ever since falling out with his family, Rodney's been looking for ways to repair the relationship.
It's my nana's anniversary tomorrow. She's been dead for nearly 39 years tomorrow. And I've been trying to organise my family to come out and have a bit of a respect at her grave site that's just over the road here. And they won't have anything to do with it. And that's what upsets me the most. And all I want to do is go and put some flowers on Nana's grave and go and have a barbecue after it. But me dad don't want to do it. You know I'm better than doing this shit, but no one fucking helps. It doesn't matter how much I drink or how much I smoke. It doesn't stop the fucking heartache.
A few weeks ago in Matong, Mary Ann's 16-year-old daughter Sam got her L's. Having her licence isn't just about freedom. The nearest town with shops is 25 k's away. Living out here with her mum's disability means driving is a necessity.
Because there's nowhere you can go get like basics, groceries, or you sort of need to be able to drive around or find a way into town. There's not really anything to do in Matong. There's lots of clear land. I remember at the end of last year, we'd come down this road and it was still green and it had canola everywhere and it was great, and like, you know, you'd ride your bike and it was so peaceful hearing the sheep and you hear the fishes in the little dams, and it was just amazing coming down here. But now it's all dead and the sheep are gone and you can't hear anything in the dams. There's just nothing to look at anymore.
And that goes for the local pub. After a spate of questionable fires, it was reduced to rubble for the final time a year ago.
It was a big blow to the town to lose the pub?
Which time? The first time, the second time, the third time, or the fourth time.
Here, like anywhere in the bush, the pub was the beating heart of the town.
It was where everybody got together on a Friday night. The ladies were all sitting in the dining area, you know, watching the young kids play the pool on the pool table. The old fellas would all be around there talking about, you know, their day and what they've been up to. So it's been heartbreaking. We've had no real formal communication with most of the people in town. Without this now, we all rely on Facebook, which means nobody actually goes out and has conversations. People in town deserve the right to be able to gather somewhere. If only to sit down, have a chin wag, find out what's going on in their lives, and just supporting what should be a nice little area. Tragic.
You know, you'd look over and it would take out all the sun and you get a nice shady patch, and now you just don't even feel like it's mud on.
All right, come on, troops.
For Mary Ann, the local church is her lifeline. For the girls, it's their youth group. Today, with Mary Ann at the helm, they're running a car wash in the nearby town of Coolaman.
Yeah, you're doing well. Really, really well. Don't wake your mother. Yeah, that one's...
As well as giving teenagers something to do, it's a way of checking in with their mental health.
We try to focus on the suicide prevention side of things by making the kids do activities and have fun and minimalising the stress that can be caused by being out there on the farm alone, knowing that mum and dad are going to struggle to put food on the table in the coming months.
The money they make will go towards day trips for isolated teens in the area.
On the day trips, we take a group of teens somewhere they've possibly never been, or just out like somewhere fun like laser tagging. Like we're all teenagers and we know how it feels to be stuck at home doing homework.
We want the kids to have fun, we want them to relax, we want them to enjoy themselves. Learn how to function in a community and feel safe doing it.
It also gives Mary Ann a sense of purpose.
I'm more effective outside the house than I am inside. I've got a big mouth, I know how to use it. I know that I can contribute to society if I'm given a chance. I've lost my glasses, people. I've lost my marbles. My glasses and my marbles, and has anyone seen them?
In a small town, community spirit's everything. Doesn't matter what it is, we always get up and help our locals, and if it wasn't for that, the community wouldn't have lasted as long as it has.
You're doing a good job. Thank you! That's a good way to wake up. Appreciate it.
The combination of isolation, drought and economic hardship is causing despair in rural communities right across Australia. And despite support from local communities, the reluctance to talk about the struggles is having devastating consequences.
I was taking it up here to show you where my son is.
Returning home from a stint working in Canberra is Cody and Bree's dad, Ricky. 6 years ago, Ricky's son from a previous relationship ended his life.
I've only been here twice. I've been here when I buried him, and I've been here when Cody was sick. So I wanted to see how tough it'd be, you know, if you had to bury another one. Now, going out to show you. It's him over there with a bucket. See, a couple of his mates must have been down. Chucked a few beers there. Yeah, hard.
The rate of male youth suicide in the bush is more than double that of our capital cities.
He travelled with me everywhere here, and he's camped with me, and he was my off-sider, and yeah, you couldn't get a better person than Anthony. He was a great kid. All his friends loved him. I tell you, he had a heart of gold, and he had a breakup, and yeah. I remember a couple of times he said to me, I may as well be dead, Dad, I may be dead, and I told him, oh, don't be silly, you know. Don't be stupid, you know. It's not that bad. But obviously it was, you know. I never got a chance to say goodbye or anything to this fella, so... Just thinking, what a waste, you know? What a waste. Such a waste.
It's late afternoon at the Rock, and Rodney's received some bad news.
The landlord come up here the other day and he wasn't real happy about the state of the joint.
His landlord has threatened to evict him from the caravan and paddock he's camped on for the last 5 years.
Just a few things that have happened over a few different things, and the shit's hit the fan. It's happened a few other times, but I've been allowed to stay here, but because of my stupidity drinking, I suppose. I think I'm gone this time.
The rundown caravan isn't much, but it's all he has.
Realising I've got nowhere to go and I'd do something real quick.
He's been told to clean up his act or he's out.
Long overdue, this job. I've been living like an animal for too long. I've been on the piss for a while. And just throwing everything on the ground. Go to the Rabbitohs this year. Possums didn't do it. They don't drink. So what do you reckon? There's a couple of bucks from that. Better than kicking the ass.
With winter approaching, Rodney needs to be sure he'll have a roof over his head.
Because I've got nowhere to go, and it's winter's going to be coming up. That's when I will get crook. My lung problems. If I get the flu or get pneumonia again, that's what'll fuck me. So I can fix this problem, I just might have to tough it out for a couple of months.
If he doesn't, his only other option would be to put up a tent in the cemetery next door, where his mum and Nan are buried.
It'll just make me wake up to me stupid self and get myself out of me stupid ways.
70 k's north of the Rock is Mary Ann's home in Matong. Behind the silos is her daughter's local swimming hole.
Oh, cool, that'd be cool. Don't pick it up.
Except now, there's no water. And also, no one left to enjoy it. In the last 5 years, the population of Matong has halved, a situation facing many small country towns across the nation.
Most of the kids, their family had to move to go find jobs so that they could just buy food and stuff, so everyone left just to go move into, like, even sometimes Wagga, and just that way they could get to work. And
do you think the town is dying?
For sure. So I remember after school we'd just come down with, like, the Matong gang, and we'd all come down with our towels and come for a swim, and it was so tall. We could only get, like, a metre in before we'd be too big, and we'd all be like, no, don't drown, and we just all thought it was so cool to come down. And then it just started getting lower and lower, and then we just started, like, finding all these, like, dead animals, and we're like, oh, that's a bit unusual. Guess it doesn't happen anymore now with, like, everyone leaving, and then it doesn't help that it's all dry now, and there's not many kids left in Matong, so not a lot you can do, really.
At age 16, Sam can't imagine sticking around much longer.
That's so hard. It's just too hard because I wouldn't be able to get a job nearby, and it'd just be like, I'd just struggle way too much living out here, so I'm just going to move somewhere where it's easier, really. I'm sort of planning to move to maybe in a country area near Sydney, because I still want, like, the same sort of childhood for my kids that I had, you know, to have horses in the backyard or go for a swim down at a dam.
An empty nest is a reality that Marianne will one day have to face. But for now, the family's biggest challenge is getting her back on her feet again.
Thank you. I fought the door and the door won.
A stumble at home has landed Marianne a fractured elbow. Her good arm is now useless.
Oh, I just tweaked it. Sammy, can you please get me those cold packs?
No home care and a dwindling set of neighbours to call on means it's up to the girls to run the house and provide round-the-clock care for their mum.
It's got to go right under the elbow. I don't know. Can I sip that too, please?
It's been different. Like, we're used to helping her with stuff every now and then, but like I'm being the one cooking dinner every single day, so not used to that.
They're not used to seeing me this useless. And I don't like to be this useless, not at all. I feel as though I've robbed them of a mum that can give them so much more. It's the little things. It's knowing that every year when they go up and they get their awards, that I can't clap. That's when it's the hardest. That's when it becomes unbearable.
We are off to get Cody's bloods done today.
Just a week into his first term at school, and Cody's already missing classes and on the road with mum Peter for more tests.
Just checking to make sure everything is going okay.
Cody's kidney disease causes a build-up of calcium.
What are you doing?
Too much could weaken his bones or interfere with his heart and brain function.
He has a lot of blood tests, so it hasn't made it easier. It's not something he's gotten used to and just accepts that that's what it's got to be. I mean, he's only just turned 5. He's very vocal and lets you know that he doesn't want a part of it.
Hello, little Cody.
So hello.
Come on in. Come in the room. Just check this.
Yep. So no needles yet.
We'll do the left arm if that's
Yep.
So we've got the sheet for you.
Okay.
I'd be lying if I said it didn't drain me physically, mentally, emotionally. It does. It's not easy.
There's Mummy. Oh, that's better.
And it's hard because you've got him pinned down on the bed because they're trying to get blood out of his arm and they're looking at you like, what are you doing to me, Mum? I don't want this to happen. And that's when it pulls at you.
Good boy.
Just going to keep some pressure on that.
You know that you're doing it for the right reasons, but he doesn't get that. It makes you feel horrible.
Bye. Come on. All right, let's go.
The endless doctor's appointments and times of solo parenting means Peter has to have a thick skin.
I'm, doing it all by myself. Rick's at work. I mean, I've got to do what's right for Cody and Bree at the end of the day. It does get hard, but if I give up, what are they going to have? I suppose you just know in your head you can't. You can never give up.
Hello, Mum.
Every time Ricky comes home, the pressure eases a little.
How was school?
But balancing the love and attention for the twins will always be a work in progress.
Bree does get left behind a little bit.
You're putting all your time, energy and emotions into the sick child, that the well child's just kind of hanging on the end and getting dragged from here to post, so you don't really have that one-on-one time with both of them. It's kind of the world revolves around the sick child, so you feel quite guilty there.
Ah, good catch, Coach. Ready? When I get home, put a balance my time out for the twins, and it does, it puts stress on you. Hey, Cody.
Let's go to swings.
Go to swings?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go to swings, Cody. Bree, she's very smart. And Bree keeps saying, "I want to be a doctor and go and look after kids," you know, that's what Bree always says. And just all we say to Bree is, don't forget your brother, you know, stand by your brother. You're going up in the air.
In the rock, it's a new day for Rodney. He's determined to make good on his pledge to kick the grog once and for all.
I'm going to get some alcohol tablets that'll stop me from drinking alcohol. If I drink, I'll spew it up.
He's been sober for 4 days now.
I get worried and anxious, and then I want to get on the piss. So if I get these tablets, when that happens, I know I'll only buy a couple of long necks or a free pack of long necks, and it'll only be $20. And if I drink it, it'll make me crook, and I'll know I can't drink at all. So that's why I'm getting them. Acam Prostrate Calcium tablet. 2 tablets in the morning, 1 tablet at night time. That's what I got to do. Because at the moment, I'm just drinking a lot.
After a 20-year battle with alcohol dependency, facing life sober is daunting. Every Thursday, he'll be put to the test. It's when his disability pension comes through.
I know I can do it. I've just done the first hard 4 days. So I can do another 4, and then I should be pretty well right. It's just payday that's going to fuck me up. But I know I can get through it.
As well as struggling to stay on the wagon, Rodney's recent attempts to keep the paddock clean appear to have worked with his landlord.
I thought I was going to see the police and everyone, but I've seen no one. My landlord's calmed down, so that's a good thing. I'll just have to start paying a little bit of rent, I suppose. Not that it's worth much rent. Oh, I don't know.
It's 11 a.m, which means the chemist is finally open. Rodney's a regular there because of his schizophrenia medication.
Do you have them?
No, I don't keep any in stock.
Rodney's new life will have to wait.
You'll have them tomorrow?
Yeah.
Without the medication, it's another day he'll need to stay clear of the drink on his own.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Wow. Saturday morning. I'll be alcohol-free by then. Oh, will we? Yep, so, yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan, Sam. I can get them, so I'm going to give them a go. And I know they're going to work for me. I just got a funny feeling they're going to work for me.
Back at his paddock on the outskirts of the Rock, Rodney has come away from the town empty-handed. The alcohol deterrent medication he was hoping would kickstart his sobriety was out of stock.
Wow.
But Rodney's still feeling optimistic about his future.
It's good to be alive, you know. You know? I don't know why. It's a big commitment, giving up the piss. I've been drinking a long time, so I've been thinking about it 24/7.
Once he's off the booze, Rodney's plan is to get enough money behind him and move into a house.
Hopefully better days off the piss. And I'll have somewhere to live with power and water, hopefully. I've got to become a foodaholic, not an alcoholic. Get back to looking like that, normal. Bit of weight about me, you know. Yep. Yep. And that's going to be a tough road, but I know I can do it if I want to see 2020. And then people around the rock will look at me in a different light, you know? Maybe I'll get a few more gardening jobs and never know what's ahead. Come back in 6 months and film me and I'll be sober and I'll bet you I'm a different looking person. 100%, I know I can do it.
In Matong, Mary Ann's injured arm has healed.
I love being out here in the country. I love the peace. I love being able just to sit here sometimes watching the wind go through the grass.
In a couple of years, the last of her kids will finish high school, and she'll likely be on her own.
Sammy wants to be a teacher, Chantel wants to be a teacher, Mandy wants to be a fireman. Doesn't matter to me what they do, as long as they're happy. There's such a big wide world to discover. My job is to facilitate that. Make them independent, make them strong, make them realise that they can do anything.
It might just be a pipe dream, but Mary Ann also hopes to leave Matong one day and start a new life somewhere different.
I'll go to Mauritius when the kids leave home. Lazing in the sun, spending time with the relatives. It's a happy dream.
One in 10 Australians live in small towns of under 10,000 people. 30% of us live outside our major cities. But the future for rural Australia has never been so uncertain.
Right, what now? I think I need a wash and a drink. Got to stop drinking and smoking pot. I think enough's enough. Another one bites the dust.
Hello. When I first came here, I was really struggling. Now I'm not too bad. It's time for me to start, you know, looking after my own health now.
Happy birthday, dear Susie. I'd love to leave and go somewhere smaller. Hooray! Yay!
Just knowing that the kids are happy and healthy, to me, that's my happiness.
We've had 5 inches of rain, and it certainly gives you a lot more hope. But the long-range forecast for rainfall for the next few months is extremely poor.
You whinge and carry on, but something just draws you back to the land.
Come on, gals, let's go.
I realised life would be an awful lot easier if we weren't dairy farmers, but, you know, I love my cows.
Let's go, gals.
The worst case scenario eventuates, you know, we could easily have to go out of dairying, you know, come Christmas time or something like that. But I've said to Lincoln, you know, that many times over the years, you know, farmers don't give up.
If you are in need of assistance or support, contact Lifeline on 13 11 14 or the Salvos on 13 72 58.